Welcome to this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
And I'm Mike Vasilio.
And here are this week's top stories. The Institute of Politics, the Harris School of Public Policy, and NBC5 hosted the Illinois Republican gubernatorial primary debate on Tuesday night. All four candidates for the Republican governor's ticket debated in a live broadcast at the Logan Center. The event was open to students and the public for the hour-long televised segment, followed by a 30-minute web feature.
Council on University Programming held its popular UChicago Dance Marathon through Friday night. Students raised money before the event and then participated in a 12-hour dance extravaganza with prizes, live performances, and food. This unique fundraiser supports the Elizabeth Glasser Pediatric AIDS Foundation, which is dedicated to creating a generation of children free of AIDS.
On Thursday, the Institute of Politics hosted the mayors of New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and our very own Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel for an unprecedented forum held at iHouse. Our Sean Graff was there for an interview with an attendee.
The Institute of Politics hosted an event entitled Leading America's Big Cities in the 21st Century, in which four mayors from across the country came to the University of Chicago to talk about how they're tackling the problems that they're currently facing in their cities. Mayors from Atlanta, New York City, Chicago, and Los Angeles were represented. Joining me now is Eric Weston, who attended the event and is frequently on our show. Eric, I wanted to ask you, what was your overall impression of really what was a historic event, being able to talk to not only David Axelrod, being able to not only interview Kasim Reed, but Rahm Emanuel, the newly elected mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, and also Eric Garcetti, right, who's the mayor of Los Angeles. What was just your overall impression of this event?
I mean, I thought it was a fantastic event. Basically, what we had here was four mayors who represented a large swath of the U.S. population, and they talked about the issues that are most important. What I thought was most interesting is how all of them focused like a laser right on education. This is a problem not only for America now, but it's going to continue to be a problem going forward unless it is solved. And I think they all recognize that. And
an interesting point that you made, really, is that all these mayors, they talked about education, and they're also all Democrats. And you notice that 82% of Americans now live in cities. So what does that say really about the direction of this country is going in, that we see Democrats maybe as the solution to tackling the issue of education reform, but also who we want to be leading us increasingly?
I mean, so these four mayors happen to be Democrats, but
so are the mayors of the 20 largest cities in the United States.
Okay, so what you see here is you see people concentrate in one area and they feel that one party is appealing to them and they're working on that. And so because you have these mayors right now, you have one group of people working on education. Another group of people working heavily on education are governors. 30 of the governors in the United States right now are Republicans, and if you see some of the real cutting edge of educational reform, you go to places like Tennessee or Louisiana, you see places where choice is being initiated, where the ideas are percolating forward. You see some of the ideas in these cities coming from places like states. And I think that's a really interesting idea.
The Notre Dame Glee Club stopped at UChicago on its 2014 winter tour in order to share a concert with Chicago Men's A Cappella, also known as CMAC. The show was titled Brothers Sing On and was held at Rockefeller Memorial Chapel. The Notre Dame Glee Club will be continuing their 2014 tour in Florida next week, while CMAC members will be studying for finals.
On Wednesday, Art Should held an exhibition of submitted post-secrets, messages and confessions written anonymously on postcards for public display. Our Sarah Claypool was there for the report.
I'm Sarah Claypool, here at Reynolds Club's McCormick Lounge for the PostSecret Gallery Night, run by campus group Art Should. The opening, which had about 50 attendees, featured secrets gathered around campus strung up. It also included a Listen Secret station, where an audio submission of secrets was played via iPod. The enthusiastic visitors spent time reading through the anonymous submissions. How do you feel about the show? Do you think it looks nice? Do you think it's cool?
I think it's really cool, and some of these are really funny. I've had a really good time reading them.
Did you submit any secrets for tonight's show?
No.
Would you think about submitting secrets in the future?
I thought about it. I didn't have anything interesting to say.
Do you have a favorite post-secret that you've seen here tonight?
Yeah, I do actually. There was one about this person who went to this buffet and pooped him or herself and finished eating before he or she left. It was pretty funny.
Are you glad you came out?
Yeah.
Art Should advocates the arts culture on campus.
Well, Art Should is an organization run by students that provides arts educations to about 5 and 6 in the spring elementary schools around the Hyde Park areas.
And so the goal of Art Shows are like twofold, because we have the community service aspect, which Sonia was describing, and then we also try to just promote the arts on campus, doing study breaks like this and other sort of events.
So how often do you guys do this show?
This is the 3rd time around we're doing it. It started my first year, then we took a break for a year and tried our hands at a little project, but people kept coming back, being like, oh, when are you guys doing PostSecret again? We're doing PostSecret, and it just sort of stuck. So we did it again last year, and then this is the 3rd year around.
The PostSecrets featured at Gallery Night range from emotional to seemingly trivial, but all speak to the UChicago experience.
Every year it seems like it generates more interest, and also there's the same people who do it every year.
With the rise of UChicago secrets and UChicago crushes, it is cool to be able to be anonymous in front of your computer and look at these secrets, but it's also kind of interesting to come and look at these physically drawn and made secrets, and there is a sense of materiality and it's a different kind of feeling to see someone handwrite these secrets. And I feel like we are all in front of our computers a little too much, so it's good to get out.
For Maroon TV News, I'm Sarah Claypool.
The annual Mr. U pageant was this past Thursday, and as always, members of UChicago's Greek community, along with other student organizations, came to Mandel Hall to show their stuff and share in the festivities. Alex Soteropoulos has the report.
Mandel Hall was booming Thursday night for Kappa Alpha Theta's annual philanthropic event, Mr. University. Fraternities, sororities, and various student organizations turned out in large numbers to support their respective contestants in the unforgettable male beauty pageant, Mr. University. The competition was tougher than ever, featuring an unprecedented 13 contestants who displayed their aptitude in formal wear and Q&A. But the most anticipated part of the evening was the talent competition, which consisted of singing, dancing, and whatever this is. Ultimately, Mr. Fiji, with the backing of his boisterous brothers, was unmasked as this year's winner.
It's relieving to be a little over, but it was a fun experience, and I'm just excited to have come out on top.
Yet, Mendato's victory was not the most important part of the evening. Kappa Alpha Theta raised over $40,000 in support of its national philanthropy, court-appointed special advocates, also known as CASA. The group provides mentors and representation for over 234,000 abused and neglected children in the legal system and throughout communities.
We set a goal of $20,000 for our 20-year relationship with CASA, Theta and CASA, but we expected to hit about 20, but to double that is absolutely incredible, and we couldn't have done it without the Greek community.
I am shocked, honestly, because we were talking about their goal, which was $20,000 a few days ago, and they were a little bit concerned about maybe just making that, breaking even, but we pretty much actually doubled that, so I was actually very surprised we raised $40,000.
Clearly, the crowd's enthusiasm matched the amount of money raised. All I can say is that my hearing is never going to be the same. From outside Mandel Hall, Alex Soteropoulos, Maroon TV News.
The University of Chicago honored International Women's Day with a week-long celebration of women's rights and culture. Events included film screenings, music and art showcases, and workshops on gender equality and body image. On Saturday, Young-Ki Kim, the Lewis Block Professor of Physics, delivered the keynote address to the university.
Phi Delta Theta brought its 3rd annual dodgeball tournament to Henry Crown Fieldhouse this Saturday. Teams of UChicago students competed in men's and women's divisions in order to win trophies and t-shirts. Funds raised by the event will be donated to the ALS Association in order to fight Lou Gehrig's disease.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Maroon TV News. I'm Liz Stark.
And I'm Mike Vasilio. Have a great week.